Hello kids, welcome to Rapid Gyan. So today in this class we are going to study the irrational numbers, and as I told you in my previous video that irrational numbers are those numbers who are non-terminating and non-repeating decimals. Non-terminating and non-repeating decimals. So hope all of you have gone through my previous video of the same for on the number system for exercise 1.1. Those who have not gone through that video, I will recommend that please go and watch that video first, then please come and watch it, and you will find the link of that video in the description section below. Okay, so as I have told you, non-repeating and non-terminating decimals are called irrational numbers. Correct? There is another thing also that we cannot write irrational numbers in the form of p by q. Why? Because only rational numbers we can write in the form of p by q, not the irrational numbers. Okay, so let's find some examples of the irrational numbers. What are some examples of the irrational number? Like as I've told you, it should non-terminating and non-repeating. So non-terminating are 0 point like this 1 0 1 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 0 and so on. So you can see. So this is a decimal number. Okay, it's a decimal number, but it's non-terminating, because if you will keep writing it, it will go till infinity and it's never going to terminate. And it's non-repeating also, because here you are saying it's 1 0, after that 2 1 0, after that 3 times 1 0. So there is it's not repeating. Correct? Next example of the irrational numbers are under root m. You can write under root m where m is a positive integer. M is a positive integer. Okay, and another condition is m is not a perfect square. That m is not a perfect square. So any number if you will get in the form of under root m, and if that under root where m is satisfying these two conditions, that under root m is a irrational number. Okay. So what do you mean by m is a positive integers are also called natural numbers. I have told you in the last class. So positive integers are also called natural numbers. Okay. So under root m is a in this way I can write the irrational number. So there are two conditions. If m is not a positive integer and m is not a, if m, like m should be, first condition is m should be a positive integer and m should not be a perfect square. Okay, so for example, let's write your natural numbers over here. So what are the natural numbers? 1 2 3 4 5 6 and so on. So if I'm going to find the square root of all these natural numbers, so what I will get? I will get this. So out of these natural numbers, what are the natural numbers who are perfect square? So 1 is a perfect square, 4 is a perfect square. So apart from under root 1 and under root 4, rest others like under root 2, 3, under root 5, under root 6, under root 7, under root 8, they all are irrational number. Again under root 9 will come. 9 is a perfect square, so this is not an irrational number. Then again under root 10 is an irrational number, and in this way it will go. Okay. Next one is, next example of irrational number is cube root of m. Cube root of m. So in case of cube root of m, there is a condition that m should not be a perfect cube, where m is not a perfect cube. Okay, m should not be a perfect cube. So again, what are the numbers who are perfect cube? 1 is your perfect cube, then 8 is your perfect cube, then 27 is your perfect cube. So apart from these numbers 1, 8, 27, other numbers, other integers, I will not say only positive integers, other integers, any integers who are not perfect cube, for example cube root of 2, cube root of 3, cube root of 4, they all are irrational numbers. Okay, and so next one is, this was your third point. The next fourth point was, what was your fourth point? Fourth point is pi. Pi is also an irrational number. Some of you might be thinking that okay, the value of pi is equal to 22 by 7, so I can write it in the form of p by q. So why, how pi can be an irrational number? So if you are thinking this, you are wrong. Okay, the value of pi is not equal to 22 by 7. The value of pi is equivalent to 22 by 7. So what do you mean by equal to and equivalent? So the value of pi is actually, it will go like 3.14 and so on, it will keep going. So actual value of pi is non-terminating and non-repeating. Since we use this pi while solving our questions, so we need to find something equivalent to this. So the nearest number which is equivalent to pi is your 22 by 7. So the nearest rational number which is equivalent to pi, not exactly equal, but equivalent to pi, which is 22 by 7. Okay, so there is a very big difference between pi and 22 by 7 is your 22 by 7 is your rational number, where pi is your irrational number. Okay, so pi is also your irrational number. Alright guys. Okay, so proof of irrationality. So there might be, you will somewhere you have seen the question where you will have to go and prove that any particular number is an irrational number or not. So the proof of irrationality is there in the first chapter of class 10th. So we will discuss it over there, not here. So what we are going to discuss over here, what are the topics there in class 9th for your irrational number? So we are going to discuss this topic. What is this topic name? Locating of irrational numbers. Locating of irrational numbers on number line. On number line. So we are going to study this in this particular video, that how we are going to locate irrational numbers on number line. So all of you understood this, what is irrational number, what are the different types of irrational numbers. Okay, and as I have told you that the proof of irrationality we will study in the next 10th class. So in this class we are just going to study this, the locating of irrational numbers on number line. Okay, so how we are going to locate this irrational numbers? So in order to locate this irrational numbers, we will use Pythagoras theorem. Which theorem? Pythagoras theorem. Okay, we are going to use Pythagoras theorem. So I hope all of you know what is Pythagoras theorem. So anyway, I will just recall. So Pythagoras theorem applied for a right angle triangle. Okay, so in this right angle triangle, this is called your perpendicular. Okay, perpendicular. Okay, which we denote it with P. Okay, this one is your base, which we denote with B, and this one is your hypotenuse, which we denote with H. So as per the Pythagoras theorem, the square of hypotenuse is equal to the sum of squares of other two sides, means perpendicular square plus base square. So what will be the value of H? The value of hypotenuse will be under root P square plus B square. This is your Pythagoras theorem. So using this theorem, we are going to locate the irrational numbers on number line. So let's start. So what is your first irrational number? So first irrational number I will start with under root 2. I will start with under root 2. Okay. So how we are going to locate this? Let me draw a number line first over here. So I will draw a number line over here. So this is your number line. Okay, this is your 0, and I will take this is as 1, and I will take this point as 2. Guys, please watch this section very carefully. Okay, so I will have to locate under root 2. Okay, so in order to locate under root 2, if you go to your Pythagoras theorem, suppose if I will take my perpendicular as 1, if I will take perpendicular equal to 1 and base is also equal to 1, okay, so in order to get the hypotenuse, what will be my answer? Perpendicular square means 1 square is 1, base square is 1, which is equal to under root 2, correct? So we are going to use, so in this way we are going to use the Pythagoras theorem. So what you will have to do over here, So you know from here to here it's 1 unit, correct? It's 1 unit. So because you are going to draw this on your graph paper, so first cell of the graph after 0 is your 1 unit. So just do one thing, draw a perpendicular line on this point 1 of 1 unit. Okay, this line should be perpendicular 90 degree, and this should also be of 1 unit. Okay, and so this point is O. Suppose I am taking this point as O and take this point as A. So I will join OA. Okay, so you are seeing your OA will become the hypotenuse. So as per the Pythagoras theorem, what will be the value of OA? So the value of OA will be equal to under root base square, which is 1 square equal to 1, plus perpendicular square, which is again 1 square which is equal to under root 2. So this, the length of OA is nothing but under root 2. Got it? Now in this under root 2, but you will ask me, sir, this is not there on the number line. You have just drawn a line of under root 2, correct? So how you are going to represent this on the number line? So you guys use compass. So put your compass end at point O, end of the compass at point O, and end of the pencil at point A, and draw an arc. Draw an arc like this. Okay, like you draw the circle. So this point, the point where it intersects the number line, that point will be your under root 2. Okay. How? So simple thing, huh? See, if this is the radius, suppose this is the radius, okay, and using the compass, if you are going to draw a circle, okay, so every point on this circle will have the same length. If this is your under root 2, so this will also be your under root 2, this will also be your under root 2. So in the same concept, now from here to here, it's under root 2. So this point is your under root 2. So in this way you can represent under root 2 on the number line. Got it? Any doubt till here? Okay, so if you guys are having doubt, post in the comments. Okay, this is the doubt, or I've told you, you can drop an email to me where at info@rapidgyan.com. If you are having any doubts, please feel free to drop an email and I will respond to your email, or post your doubts in the comment section. We will reply back soon. Okay, so in this way we represent under root 2. Now we will have to represent other numbers. For example, there are so many irrational numbers. Okay, now suppose you will have to represent under root 3, under root 5, under root 6, under root 7, under root 8, under root 10, and so on. So we will have to represent everything on the number lines. How you are going to represent? Okay, so I will first discuss with under root 3, and then I will tell you the formula. Okay, so for under root 3, now tell me in this, now go and use your Pythagoras theorem first. Okay, so in the Pythagoras theorem, suppose I have made my base is equal to under root 2, okay, and my perpendicular is 1. What will be my hypotenuse? My hypotenuse will be under root base square, which is under root 2 square, plus perpendicular square, which is 1 square. So now this will give me under root 2 plus 1, which is under root 3, correct? So under root 2 is, so you know, the if I am going to like under root m square will give me m. So this is one thing, hope you guys know. If you guys don't know, just note it down. Okay, so in this way we can find it. So now go to this your number line, and this point, you know, this point is your under root 2. So I already know this point. So what I will do, I am going to draw a perpendicular line at this point. Okay, I am going to draw a perpendicular line of 1 unit at this point. So this is your perpendicular line of 1 unit at this point, correct? And what I will do, I will draw the hypotenuse. What I will do, I will draw the hypotenuse. I will draw the hypotenuse from here to here. Okay. So let's call this point as P. So now you can see from here to till this point it's under root 2, and this is under root 1, sorry, it's 1 unit. So again, what will be the value of your OB? The value of your OB will be under root 2 square, just I have told you, plus 1 square, which is equal to under root 2 plus 1, which is equal to under root 3. Means the value of OB is your under root 3. Got it? So now what you will have to do, again take the compass, put your compass endpoint over here at O and your pencil endpoint at B, and draw an arc, draw the circle, draw an arc. The point where it will cut, this will become your under root 3. Hope you guys understand this. Okay, so in this way we find the value, we can draw the graph of under root 3. Okay. So what are you guys following any pattern ki how we are getting this in order to draw this under root 3 or under root 2? So there is one pattern. Okay, let's listen it very carefully, kids. So there is one pattern for every irrational number which is written in the form of under root n. Okay, any irrational number which is written in the form of under root n, first find the, so if you will have to locate this, in order to locate an irrational number which is in the form of under root n, first find under root n minus 1. What you will have to do? Find under root n minus 1 and locate that on the number line, and locate that on number line. Okay, so you will have to memorize this particular thing. Okay, that if you will have to draw an irrational number on the graph, any under root n irrational number in the graph, first you will have to find the value of under root n minus 1 and locate that on the number line. After that only you will be able to draw it. Now if your example is over here only, whenever I went to draw the value of under root 2, so what will be the, if in case of under root 2, what will be the value of under root 1? The value of under root 1, like n is 2, so n minus 1 will be 1, so under root 1 is 1. So see, first I have located this value from 0 to 1, from here to here, correct? Now in order to locate this under root 3, so here the value of n is 3, so what will the value of n minus 1? N minus 1 will be 2. So means first you will have to find under root n minus 1 and locate it. So first I have located this thing from here to here, which is under root 2, and after that only I was able to draw the graph. Now if you will have to locate under root 5 or under root 6 on the number line, so I will go to the next page. Now you will have to locate under root 5 on the number line. So what you will do? First you will find under root n minus 1. So what is under root n minus 1? Which is under root 4. If the value of n is 5, so under root n minus 1 will be under root 4. And what's the value of under root 4? Under root value of under root 4 is 2. Okay, the value we will take, there are plus 2 and minus 2. So these are the both values. So since what we will take plus 2. Okay, in this case we will take plus 2. So what you will have to do, first locate under root 4 on the number line. So I will draw the number line over here. So this is your number line. Okay, and this is your point 0, this is your point 1, and this is your point 2. So what's the value of under root 4? The value of under root 4 is 2. So I will locate this point, and after that what you will have to do, you will have to draw a perpendicular line on this point. You have to draw a perpendicular line on this point of 1 unit, so this should be 1, and then draw the hypotenuse. So once you draw the hypotenuse, so what's the value of your hypotenuse in this case? So your base is of 2 units, so hypotenuse will be equal to 2 units, means 2 square plus 1 square, that is equal to under root 5. So now your this value will become under root 5. After that, what you will have to do? Take out the compass, put the compass point over here and the pencil end point over here, and draw an arc. The point where the arc will intersect the number line, that point will become your under root 5. Hope you guys understand this. Similarly, if you will have to find the you will have to represent under root 6 on the number line, what will you do? So for under root 6, what will you do? First find the under root n minus 1, means first you will have to locate under root 5. You have already located under root 5 over here, so this is your under root 5. So what you will have to do? Now you will have to draw a line of 1 unit at this point under root 5 and join this. Okay, now this point is B, I am assuming, and take out the compass and draw an arc. The point where it will intersect, that will become your under root 6. So in this way we can plot any irrational number on the graph paper. Alright guys, okay, so let's move further. So while going further, few things which you need to memorize, because you are going to use that in your questions. So one thing is that the value of under root 2, so the value of under root 2 is 1.414. Please write it down. The value of under root 3 is 1.732. The value of under root 5 is your 2.236, and the value of pi, which we say that is equivalent to 22 by 7, which is again equivalent to 3.14. Please make sure to memorize these stuff. It's going to be very useful whenever you are going to solve the numericals or solve the question in the exercise, not this exercise but in other exercise. Okay. There is one more thing which I have told you in the last class, if you guys remember. So what I have told you in the last class, I have told you that in order to find the rational numbers between two rational numbers, I have told you three methods. So what was your method 1? If you guys remember, your method 1, see, that's why I was telling you, please watch the last video before coming to this video. So please make sure to watch the exercise 1.1 video. So in the method 1, I have told you mid value method. Okay, if you will have to find the multiple rational numbers between two rational numbers, we will have to use mid value method. For example, suppose R and S are two rational numbers and you will have to find the mid value. So how you will find the mid value? We find the mid value by R plus S divided by 2. That's your mid value. Now if you will have, so that's another rational number. This is another rational numbers between R and S. A rational number between R and S. Now suppose if you will have to find an irrational number between R and S, so how will you do it? If you will have to find irrational number between R and S, so how will you do it? So if you will have to find irrational number between R and S, you will have to do it like this, under root R into S. So this is the formula to find an irrational number between two rational numbers. For example, suppose there are two rational numbers are given, 3 by 5 and 4 by 5, and you will have to find an irrational number between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5. So what will you do? Told you under root R and multiplied by S, means under root 3 by 5 multiplied by 4 by 5, which is equal to under root 12 by 25. So this 12 by 25 is your irrational number between R and S, where R and S are two rational numbers. Okay, so let's go and now solve few questions from your book. So there are two examples for exercise 1.2 where you will have to locate under root 2 and under root 3 on the number line, which I think we have already done this over here. Over here we have already located under root 2 and under root 3 on the number line. So these two questions This and this questions we have already done. Now come to the exercise part. So in the exercise, the first question is saying state whether the following statements are true or false. Justify your answer. Okay. So what's the first statement is saying? The first, every irrational number is a rational number. Okay. So think guys, whether it's true or false. Yes, it's true. Every irrational number is a rational number. In the last video, I have told you real numbers are divided into only two types of numbers, rational and irrational. Rational and irrational. Okay. So here you are saying that every irrational number is a real number. Yes, every irrational number is a real number. So this statement is true. Now they are saying you will have to justify your answer. So you can write this, that all the irrational numbers can be represented on the number line. Hence they are real numbers, because we know that we can represent real numbers on the number line. This is one of the definition of the real number, that any number, if you can represent that on the number line, those numbers are real numbers. So since so you will have to just write that all the irrational numbers can be represented on the number line, so those numbers are also real numbers. So your first statement is true. Now second statement, that every point on the number line is of the form under root m, where m is a natural number. Okay, let's see this. Let's draw a number line over here. So I will just draw a smaller number line over here. Okay. So what they are saying that every point on the, so this is the number line here, 1 2 3 minus 1 minus 2, like this. Okay, so every point on the number line is of the form under root m, where m is a natural number. No, it's not possible, because see, under root 2 you have found it, you got something 1.414 over here. Okay, under root 3 you got here, which is around 1.732. But there are not only these two, there are multiple, and after that under root 4 is 2. So between 1 and 2 I can only see that 1 2 3 4 numbers I am able to represent, which are in the form of under root m, and m is your natural number. But as I have told you in the last video, there are infinite number of real numbers between two real numbers. Okay, so this statement is false. Also you cannot represent negative number, no? You cannot find the value of under root minus 1, because they are saying m is a natural number, but on the number line I am also seeing minus 1 and minus 2, negative numbers are also present on the number line. So this statement is false, and the reasoning you can write it that all the negative real numbers cannot be written. Okay, they will not fall under this category. Your next question is that every real number is an irrational number. No, every real number is not an irrational number, because real numbers are further classified into the two parts, rational numbers and irrational number. Okay, so irrational number is a part of real number, but not the all the real numbers are the irrational number. So your this statement is false. Your second question is showing, are the square root of all the positive integers are irrational? Are the square roots of all the positive integers are irrational? If not, give an example of the square root of a number that is not a irrational. So, okay, so what are your positive integers again? So your positive integers are nothing but your natural numbers. So which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's find the square root of all these numbers. So sorry, if I'm going to find the square root of these numbers, so under root 1 I will get 1, this will be under root 2 only, under root 3 this is 2, this is under root 5, under root 6. So are the square roots of all the positive integers are irrational? Your answer is no. Why? Because the numbers which are complete square, the square root of those, although those numbers are positive integers, although those numbers are natural numbers, but the square root of those numbers is not an irrational number. So if you will have to give the example, you can give this example and this example. You're saying that if not, give an example of the square root of a number that is a rational number. So you can give the example of under root 4, under root 1, under root 8, in under root 9, any complete square number. Now your third question is showing, so how under root 5 can be represented on the number line? So how we are going to show? Under root 5, I have told you in the show, here I have told you how to represent under root 5 on the number line. Okay, so in this way we are done. In the next class, we are going to study the real numbers and their decimal expression. So this is where I am wrapping up the class. Okay, so all right students. So till now we have covered till here, till exercise 1.2, and also please make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification on that, so that you will be notified as soon as the next video we will be uploading. And please solve as much as question you can from the other books like R.D. Sharma or S. Agrawal or your exemplar. Just solve all the questions on these topics. Feel free to drop your like, if you are having any questions, any doubt, write in the comments. We will reply it back, or you can send me an email to info@rapidgyan.com, where info@rapidgyan.com. So at this point you can share me an email, so we will get back to you. All right guys, thank you.